well. See, the crew's been hard at work. Not bad.
I love it. Especially the, accoutrements on the wall.
Priscilla picked them.
Well, I must admit, you have great taste. What about Rotlick? Did you get the placards?
Rotlick said he'd bring them on his own. Should be here soon.
Great! The best way I can think of to promote the chameleon.
Never mentioned wanting to change the name.
Rosemary and Thyme wasn't all bad, but it conjured images of Temerian cuisine served by waitresses in peasant garb. Chameleon's a lot better for a cabaret, apart from which it emphasizes that the place has undergone a transformation. Just a better ring to it all round.
What about choreography? Prepared anything special for the opening?
We haven't. But Polly has. She's priceless. Came in and brought the girls in line before I could say knickers. Premier will have the audience on their feet, on their knees, both at the same time.
Guess everything's ready. So when's the opening?
Soon. We start our dress rehearsal in an hour. I just need to nip back home for my dress.
Thanks for everything.
Don't mention it.
Seems my cabaret dreams are about to come true. So, around to celebrate? I'm buying.
Why not?
That's my boy. The foreman mentioned he saw you and Priscilla talking.
He's all right.
And she say anything about me?
She said something that made me think she's not entirely normal.
What?
That you're responsible, got your feet planted firmly on the ground.
You're pulling my leg.
Not this time. One thing's eating me. How do you manage to get the loan from Sophronia?
Ugh, wasn't easy. She got so excited about our performance, I had to read to her for 4 hours. 4 hours from the Cloak and the Dagger.
You mean you didn't...
Are you crazy? Who do you think I am? She's late, of course. She knew how important this night was to me.
Of course she did. Probably just making herself gorgeous. Takes time.
So it's true. A woman's vanity knows no bounds.
Ask the dandelion. Priscilla, she's...
What? Speak, man.
She's badly, been attacked. They took her to Vulmerius Hospital.
Attacked? She's hurt? Geralt, come with me, please.
Of course. Let's go.
Gods. Priscilla. Is she gonna live?
I'd say that's certain. Her condition's critical but stable. Beg your pardon, but you are a relative?
Relative? No, a friend. A very close friend.
Dandelion, correct? She uttered the name in her few moments of lucidity. I am Joachim von Gratz, head of surgery. Until recently, a lecturer at Oxenfurt Academy.
Enough of the courtesies. What are her injuries, besides her eye?
A concussion, cranial swelling, incision into her larynx, and scalding inside the throat and esophagus. Clearly someone forced her to imbibe a caustic fluid.
So this was no ordinary attack, no robbery.
Clearly not. It was the act of a demented mind, and not its first.
How can you know that?
I've seen wounds like this. They're not the kind one would forget, don't you agree? In fact, just this week, a corpse turned up in the morgue with similar injuries. And no heart.
No heart? You mean that might have happened to Priscilla? Is someone looking into this?
This is Novigrad. Only the innocent burn here.
Geralt, I know I owe you 100 times over, but I need to ask you another favor. Find the bastard who did this. Find him. And kill him.
Don't need any convincing. Come on, Dandelion. Let's think about what we can do.
I would suggest examining the previous victim's corpse. It has yet to be autopsied. Doing so could very well provide some clues. No need to look astonished, gentlemen. As a surgeon, I know the importance of preventive medicine. Rather than wait for this maniac to strike again, I'd prefer to excise him. Not unlike a tumor.
Great analogy, but this tumor's not gonna sit there, wait to be excised. Appreciate the help, but I doubt you know what you're getting yourself into.
I know perfectly well, and I assure you I can take care of myself.
Easy assurance to make, harder to back up, especially if you've spent your whole life wielding a scalpel, not a sword.
Look at this scar. Don't be shy. Any idea what leaves such a mark?
A flail. Morningstar, maybe.
What do you think? A blow sustained at the operating table? No? Let me repeat. I know what I'm doing, and I wish to help.
Think they'll let me into the morgue?
By the main entrance, certainly not. But you can also get inside through the sewers.
The sewers? Travel them often, Doctor?
As often as required for, the pursuit of preventive medicine.
Alternative treatments. Aggressive ones, I'm guessing. Interesting.
We can discuss this en route. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Ready and intrigued. I'll get whoever did this, Dandelion. Even if it's Hierarch Hemmelfart himself.
Thanks.
You lead.
So, preventive medicine you practice in the sewers. What's that about?
Think. Sewing up drowner.
Telling this story, my dear reader, will tax me greatly. It is a dark and somber one, encompassing the greatest sorrow my heart has ever known. It all started the day of the grand opening of my cabaret. Everything had been spit-polished to perfection. All that was left was to wait for Priscilla, whose performance was to be the crowning moment of this glorious evening. Yet when the doors of the Chameleon burst open, it was not she who stepped inside. Instead, it was a messenger from the Vilmerius Hospital. His face pale and his countenance dour. He informed us Priscilla had been badly wounded in an assault and was currently tottering on the brink of death.
Victims can grow awfully tedious. Is it not better to nip the problem in the bud? I tried to get the temp. Hear that?
Been hearing it for a while. Draw your weapon.
Ooh, crossbow.
Hey! Help! Help!
Show me what you got.
Dang you!
Priscilla, how's it look? Give it to me straight, no sugarcoating.
Her wounds will heal, but it's her voice that concerns me. Surely you understand what a terrible blow that would be to a Troberet. Enough to strip her of the will to live.
Any remedy for that?
I fear only your friend Dandelion can be of help on that count.
Dang.
Take the ladder. This is the place. Come, the quicker we take care of this, the better.
Why? Got somewhere to be?
Someone might disturb us. The coroner, for example. Or Reverend Nathaniel Pastodi. Very well. We seek the corpse of a dwarven woodcarver.
Looks like necrophage has got to this one. Let's keep looking. Human. Wrong body type.
Excuse me.
Calluses on the fingers, sawdust in the beard, clothes sticky with sap. Must be our dwarf.
Excellent. I trust you don't grow weak in the knees at the sight of blood.
Not a bit. Start the autopsy.
Where?
Let's look at his head. Hair smells like it's burnt, like he was in a fire.
Notice anything else? That his eyes have been scooped out, for instance?
Those burn marks I see in his eye sockets.
Yes. And some grey dust. Ash, it seems. Very fine.
Murderer gouged out his eyes, then put burning coals in the sockets.
So it seems. Looking at the wounds, it appears our woodcarver was still alive when it happened.
Let's examine the mouth. Burns, blisters.
Just like Priscilla's.
See this? Incision made into the voice box.
Indeed, so thin as to be nearly unnoticeable.
A small, extremely sharp instrument. Scalpel.
But why? The wound is too small to bleed, and there are signs of swelling. The murderer... I believe he performed a tracheotomy, so the victim wouldn't die too soon.
Let's examine his torso.
What have we here? Deep wound on the left side of his rib cage, and a scar the length of his stomach.
Let's examine the chest wound. Yeah, heart carved out, wound cauterized.
Wait a minute, there's something else.
An egg from an amphibian. A salamander? Scorched but intact.
I attended some lectures in herpetology as a student. Afraid I don't recall any amphibians that would lay eggs in corpses. So either Professor Cochrane was deeply mistaken, or this is our murderer's doing.
Look at the scar. Wounds long and thin, an incision, but the edges are ragged.
Means nothing. Look, no swelling, no bruises. An old injury, perhaps an accident in the workplace.
Open the abdominal cavity.
Due warning, it will stink of rot.
Once fought a Zoogle up to my waist in sewage, so I doubt... Wait. Smells not rot.
Formaldehyde. A medical novelty. Heavily diluted, it's remarkable at preserving organic tissue. In stronger proportions, it's more destructive than acid.
Explains why there's no smell of decay, and why his throat's scalded. Look at his hands. These welts. Rope burns, right? He was tied up.
I'd expect so. No one could sit through such torture unless bound.
Speaking from experience?
Yes, that of a victim. Spent a year in the dungeons of Tretogor. Long story.
Some other time, maybe. See the callus? Our dwarf wore a ring, but someone took it off him. See anything interesting on his legs?
His right foot. The ankle swollen, toenails broken. He clearly kicked something very hard. Right before he kicked the bucket.
Doesn't strike me as the right time for jokes.
Apologies. We surgeons, we've a different sensibility.
Mm-hmm. And a different sense of humor. His genitals. We ought to inspect those.
I sincerely doubt they bear any relation to the matter.
We'll see. Pull down his trousers and... shit.
Syphilis, actually. Early stages. No sign of diffusion.
Think there could be a connection?
Only as the killer's potential motivation.
All right. Think I know enough.
Enlighten me, please, because I've still no notion what this is about. What the motive might have been.
It's some kind of sick ritual. You saw it. Burns in the eye sockets, cavity where the heart should be, scalding liquid, all centering on warmth, heat, fire.
A fire eternal.
It's a lead worth following. Any idea what his name was?
Fabian Meyer. And I'm Hubert Reich, the coroner. I've come to perform the autopsy, but I see you've done it for me, Joachim. As always, you interfere where you're neither needed nor wanted, drag others into trouble in the process. Who is this?
A student. Lifelong learner. Got a couple questions for you.
Very well, speak. But be quick. Reverend Nathaniel has come by for an inspection. He'll be here shortly.
You old friends?
Hubert taught me the rudiments of medicine. Long ago.
And not very well. You've still not mastered certain basic principles. For example, that a doctor's role is to treat the ill, not save the world.
You've not changed a bit.
A compliment?
No, a statement of fact. 30 years, and you've not changed a bit.
Woodcarver's body. Where was it found? It's important.
Plan to investigate? Exciting. He died in his workshop south of the market square, just beside the gate to Far Corners. That poor Trebirates was attacked there. City's abuzz about it. But the woodcarver, Eustace the corpse collector, brought us the body. You should speak to him. Saw him just around the corner near... Oh, greetings, Your Reverence.
Who are these people? I believe I made it clear no one's to be allowed in under any circumstances.
You did, but they're friends of the deceased. Here to collect the body.
Out of the question. Show them out at once.
As Your Reverence wishes. Gentlemen, follow me. You shall leave via another route.
Why'd you cover for us?
I was covering my own arse. If Reverend Nathaniel had learned someone had entered the morgue, then cut open a corpse without his permission, I'd be in deep trouble. You didn't give that a thought, did you, Joachim? As ever. Well, while I don't approve of your willfulness, I also wish to see this murderer hang. So, should I learn anything new related to this case, I will let you know.
Thank you.
Nathaniel. Who is he?
A scoundrel. A rogue. Like every man who wears the robes of the Eternal Fire.
Most are scoundrels before they ever put on the robes.
True in his case as well. Before he donned the frock, Nathaniel was a torturer. Delighted especially in torturing women. Later, Hierarch Hemmelfart appointed him to oversee the morgue. He deals with the temple guard, supervises cremations, conducts funeral masses in the temple on the Isle, and so forth.
Dream job. Might have told me you know the coroner. We could have skipped the trip through the sewers.
I know him, thus I avoid him. I've said enough on the subject.
I decide when we're done with the subject. What's your connection to him?
An old story, but if you insist. The student protests in 1242, you've heard of them? I led them. Hubert, however, denounced me to the authorities. I landed in prison. There you have it. What will you do now?
Plenty of leads. Woodcarver's workshop, the corpse collector who found him, alley where Priscilla was attacked. Got work to do.
As do I. At the hospital. I must return there. But I shall keep my fingers crossed.
And I'll keep my eye on you.
The wave of religious and racially motivated killings that swept through Novigrad in the spring of 1272 coincided with Hubert Regic's term as a coroner at the city morgue. Because of this, he was overworked and additionally had to bear the harassment of his dislikable superior, Reverend Nathaniel. It is thus no surprise that he came across as unpleasant and sarcastic when Geralt and he first met. Furthermore, it was clear there was bad blood between him and Joachim von Gratz, a fact that did little to improve the already rather stiff atmosphere at the morgue. Nevertheless, having learned the reason for Geralt's unexpected visit, Hubert made it clear Geralt and Joachim could count on his help. Performance in such acclaimed plays as Love and the Time Had Come to, Seven Brides for Seven Emperors had made her name well known. Okay. We met Joachim von Gratz, chief surgeon at Vilmerius Hospital, in a very unfortunate circumstance. My Priscilla had been attacked and he was attending to her wounds. I must admit I was so shaken I hardly remember our first meeting, save that he was a cool-headed doctor who seemed to know a great deal about the previous murders, and offered his help in investigating the matter. It seemed the surgeon was no stranger to violence, for he bore a formidable scar worthy of a veteran of the Battle of Brennan. Geralt also noted that von Gratz seemed quite experienced at navigating the sewers and fighting monsters dwelling within it. It was hard not to notice that Joachim von Gratz did not care much for the city coroner, Hubert Regic, who dropped in unexpectedly on Geralt and the doctor at the morgue. When asked why, von Gratz explained that 30 years earlier, Hubert had denounced him to the authorities for his political activities. Reverend Nathaniel, supervisor of the city morgue and cleric of the Church of the Eternal Fire, was a man with a vile character and a stormy past. Before donning the frock, he had served 4 years as the city torturer. One would be hard-pressed to find a more inferior candidate for a pastor than a former hangman, but as the saying goes, in Novigrad, anything is possible. I'm gonna save the game. I'm gonna save the game, and now to decide where do we go next.
Another drifter in from Temeria.
Ah, shut it.
Watch it, tramp. Novigrad's not your stomping ground.
Hey, handsome.
A brazier. This time of year?
Grab him! Sis, that him.
How am I to know?
Never learn.
Eye for an eye! I'll rip your back!
What was that about?
Think you'll get me too, huh? Up your ass, deviant! Hoes can fight back!
Calm down, I'm not gonna hurt you. What are you doing here?
Getting vengeance. Well, why are you staring? Have you not heard killers always return to the scene of their crime? Me and my brothers are waiting here to give him a warm welcome. For Priscilla. Almost did her in, the whole son.
I know. Here to look for clues and find anyone who might know something.
Fear I can't help you much. But I can tell you what I know.
You and Priscilla friends?
Friends? Nah. But she saw more than a stupid whore in me. Treated me with respect. It mattered. I was looking to give her pouring. Pick up a decent trade. But none would take me. Not as a washerwoman, nor a servant, nor a cook. Felt like a leper, I did. But Priscilla, she was different. Agreed to put me in her play, you see? Lots of the other actors, they were afraid on account of her jesting about the eternal fire. Whistling Wendy on stage, can you imagine it? Well, dream's gone now. I'm back to working street corners.
Sorry to hear that.
You could do worse as work goes. Or so I tell myself.
Priscilla wasn't the sole victim. You aware of that?
Oh, dearie. Course I was. This didn't start yesterday. Others have died like this before. Beggars, street girls, orphans. But who'd have a drama concern about them? Human rubbish. It's what the guards call us.
Recall any names?
They didn't have proper ones. Baldy, curly, buns. That's what folk called them. No friends, no families. Their bodies were burned long ago.
Take care now. I gotta look around some more. Appreciate it if you didn't disturb me.
Naturally. We'll stand aside, behave. But do tell us if you find anything else here.
Oh, me head's ringing. What do you want?
Man's footprint. The murderer's, maybe. Weight on his heel. Took a step back. Human. Priscilla's. I know that smell. Formaldehyde. Murderer fled before the guards arrived. Ran this way.
I gotta meditate first.
Trail ends here. Strange. Even I couldn't jump this wall.
Remember, good people, the light cast by the fire dispels every darkness, reveals each lie, exposes every unworthy and debauched soul. Not even shape-shifting Dopplers can hide from its light, not even witches and sorceresses, so adept at fooling the common folk, nor not the loose women who walk the street and fog men's minds with their charms. Abandon, then, the treacherous and immoral magic arcane. Cover your bodies in modesty and provoke no unclean thoughts, and the eternal fire will expose for you all monsters and sinners, or else burn you too in its flames.
So, what is it?
Think I know what happened here. Priscilla fought back, her assailant retreated, and knocked over the brazier. Someone must have heard it. Maybe saw something, started hollering. Guards showed up. Murderer didn't finish the job, didn't cover his tracks. Just collected himself and leapt over the wall. Trail ends there.
You divined all this from a pile of rubbish and a few prints in the mud.
Do that practically every day in my profession. And practice makes perfect.
True enough. Just like I can tell right off if a punt will pay or try to wriggle out of it.
That particular skill I could use myself. Take care now. And I got a murderer to catch.
Awful pile.
I also gotta fix my weapons. That's probably why. There we go. There we go.
You scared?
Let's see where the woodcarver died then.
Degeneracy, the downfall of civilization. No loitering round here.
Oh, it's on the other side, isn't it?
Look awfully suspicious to me.
Ah, shut it. Knock, knock.
Anyone home?
Begun, or I'll sick me hounds on you. Molly, Striga, come!
Relax. I'm here about Fabian Meyer, looking for his killer.
That's altogether different. Sit, you stupid mutts, lie down. Come on in. Slowly now, lest they bite you.
Charming as beasts go.
You daft? Even I'm scared of them. But better backing dog than an evil man at your door.
Got someone particular in mind?
Sure as shite. Bugger who did Fabian in. Soon as they'd hauled his corpse off, I run to a mate who raised his fighting dogs. Bought these two mutts. Cost me a chunk of change. But I sleep sound at least.
So who might you be?
The Stiff's brother. Gus is the name. We ran a workshop together. Meyer and Meyer.
What'll it be now? Just Meyer?
Name it. I'll be closing it down now. As soon as I find a buyer for this shack, I'll head on to Mahakam. Be near my family or what's left of it. So, what do you want to know? What can I tell you about Fabian?
Tell me what you know about the murder, in order, in detail.
'Twas like this. Had some work in Oxenford, and I was coming home. Saw a plume of smoke rising over the city. Thought to myself, blast it, gonna miss and burn another hag. But the smoke wasn't coming from Hierarch Square. It was coming from here. See the soot stains? That's where they burned our sculptures. Folk gathered round the blaze and found Fabian here beside it. They'd already loaded him on the cart by the time I arrived.
Talk to your neighbors. They see anything suspicious beforehand? Hear anything?
Claimed not to. But even if they had, they'd not have helped. In Novigrad, folk give bleeding orphans in the street a wide berth so as not to stain their poor lanes. They care about some dwarf.
Your brother have any enemies? Anyone dislike him? Threaten him, maybe?
'Twas Fabian who threatened this one last. Oh, he were a good dwarf, a craftsman like no other. But he were an incorrigible whoremonger as well. Whenever we put a bit of coin aside, I'd say, let's buy some tools, quality timber. No, he grabbed the purse and head out whoring. Took to following one in particular. He'd say, "'Tis all your fault, dirty bitch, human dish rag," and other obscenities. Don't rightly know what that was about. Maybe he was in love with her.
Know where I can find her? This dish rag?
City cemetery. She died a few days back, quietly in her sleep. The Pont said the fever took her.
Fine, we've talked enough. Need to look around.
Be my guest. Just beware of the dogs.
Bloodstains.
That's where Fabian lay when they found him.
Come on.
Statues of the old gods. Nothing but women. Shapely ones. Someone dragged something across the floor. Or dragged it from one wall to the other, repeatedly.
Remember, good people, that fire can be both a blessing and a curse. Fire can warm with its flames. Fire can prepare our nourishment. Fire can drive off the horrors of the dark. Yet fire can also scorch, burn, and incinerate. That is why we must live in harmony with eternal fire and its commandments. Whoever fails to heed its lessons, whoever lives in ignorance of it, whoever mocks it, the same shall lose his life in its flames. Take my counsel to heart, good people, or you will reap the consequences of your deeds.
Mind if I go inside the workshop?
I've not even peeked inside since they found Fabian. But I'll open it for you if you want.
What do we got?
More bloodstains, but not near enough to say he bled to death. Unless somebody got rid of the blood. Left a few stains behind. Doubt Fabian used it. Formaldehyde. Doubt Fabian used it. Furniture got knocked over. This looks like it was kicked. Eyes. Humanoid. Completely rotten.
Oof.
Eyes. Humanoid. Completely rotten.
Aye.
Had a look at your sculptures.
And? Lifelike, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. The women especially. Never seen a bust that size on Melitele.
Oh, aye. Fabian's handiwork. I told him, brother, tits like that would crush her back. Whittle him down. He said, nay, they'd sell better this way. Told me to shut me trap. And sell they did. Till one sermon at the temple. And the celebrating reverend said that whoso buys idols from the non-human Mayas sins twofold, as a heretic and as a lecher. That was the end of that.
Already know what happened. Fabian was in the workshop. Murderer attacked him there. They struggled. Fabian was overpowered, then tortured. For a time.
I needn't know the details. Truth be told, I hadn't the stomach for him.
When it was over, the murderer dragged Fabian to the courtyard, then made a pyre of sculptures, set them aflame.
But why? Why do all that?
To teach a lesson. To him, you, the whole city. Fine, we've talked enough. Won't learn anything else here. Take care.
Time to find the corpse collector. Some kind of... So my guess is it's eternal fire like heretic or something. Well, not heretic, but radical.
Such lovely natural surroundings.
Armed ruffians in town. Scandalous.
Question is, who could it be, though?
People.
Oi, Witcher! Coroner wants to see you. Been another victim. Told me to say the main door will be open for you. You're to come as soon as you can.
Raiders, people. Oh, they really willing to be traced to use your soul.
No.
You Eustace, the corpse collector?
Aye? How'd you know?
Fourth sense, I think it is. You bring Fabian Meyer's body to the morgue?
Fabian. Oh, yeah, I remember. No ice, no art, one of them, right? No purse neither, as I recall.
One of them? So there have been other bodies like that?
Sure have. Beggars, street urchins, and street walkers. One went so portly, I had to cut her into pieces to fit her in me wheelbarrow. Slippery sow, they called her, on account of the...
Some things are best left unsaid. What happened to the pieces?
What do you mean? Reverend Nathaniel ordered them burned. Every last one. Oh, shame that was.
Shame? Why? Actually, never mind. Another thing that's best left unsaid. You search Fabian's body?
Well, I cast an eye in his pockets. Made sure nothing went to waste.
I call a spade a spade. You rob corpses.
And I call a prick a prick. It's none of your fucking concern. What, you tax collector? Piss off, mutant.
Talk. What did you find on him?
I had you wish. Triflings, baubles, gloss-beaded ring, handful of coins, and a letter. Look, vellum, quality parchment, that. I'll wipe off the writing and sell it as new.
That's human skin. Priscilla. Next victim's name. If you'd given this to the right person, she might not have been hurt.
What the fuck do I care what happens to some Priscilla? We short of wenches in this town.
Get out of my sight. Now.
Sweet thing.
Oh, just up here.
Is it true she's whoring around?
Welcome, Master Witcher.
Geralt, right? I'm glad you're here. Held off on the autopsy till you arrived.
Nice of you, especially given you didn't seem pleased about my previous visit.
Because you came unannounced and in unfortunate company. I also had Reverend Nathaniel to contend with. Our spiritual caretaker has left the city on some important matter. And I know who you are, what drives you. I'm more than happy to aid your investigation.
Von Gratz told me all about you.
Ah. Doubtless you've heard how I had the noble leader of the student protesters thrown in prison. But did you hear the protests were far from peaceful? Or did he neglect to mention it? People were dying, Witcher. Those who rejected liberty, equality, and fraternity would be found in the gutter come morning. Their throats slit from ear to ear with surgical precision. Joachim had been my favorite student, but alas, I had to do something. So I reported him. Then I left the university and found work in the morgue, where none care about my past. Whereas Joachim, oh, fate's ironies. Years later, he was appointed head of the very ward I had founded.
How old's von Gratz? 50? 60?
53, I believe. Why do you ask?
You look a little young to have been his teacher.
Not surprising. For years, I've lived in the cold and dark, breathing the vapors of embalming fluids. In short, working with corpses extends one's life. Amusing, is it not?
Not fond of Nathaniel?
Very few people are. He's cruel and capricious. He stormed in here once, grabbed a scalpel I was sterilizing over a burner, sliced my back with it to the bone, because I had forgotten to lock the storeroom. Hard to be fond of someone like that, wouldn't you agree?
Who's the victim this time?
Joris Aquinas, a lecturer in theology at Oxenfurt Academy. Found this morning at his home on a catafalque made of his books.
Any titles in particular?
It seems all the tomes dealt with the eternal fire. Treatises critical of the faith's doctrines.
Yeah, mortal sin in Novigrad. Let's start.
Gladly. The wounds conform to the killer's modus operandi. The victim was bound and forced to drink formaldehyde. Next, the killer removed the eyes, placed burning coals in the sockets, then opened the rib cage and... What's this? A parchment. Made of human skin.
A message from the murderer. The name of his next victim. Patricia Vegelbud.
Do you know her?
Yes. Even went to her estate once with... Gotta find her, now.
To the Vegabuds. Whoop.
Till next time, Master.
Gotta go, 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 go. Got no time to lose.
Has it always been crooked?
Fall upon your knees before the eternal...
Well, over with a line. What do you see? Show us what you're bringing in.
We're coming through. Axe forces an Algul to hide its spikes.
What do you want?
Need to talk to Patricia Vegelbud.
You think any bum off the street can...
Her life's in danger. Let me in or have her blood on your hands.
If you thought this up, and I'll let you in, they'll throw my arse out the door.
Always thought a guard was supposed to protect his charge, not his ass.
So be it. I'll take you to Lady Vegelbud. Just no trickery. Understand?
Oh, Geralt, what a pleasant surprise.
Not pleasant at all. I gotta see your mother. Her life's in danger.
In danger? Come now, I saw Mother this morning. She seemed sad, true, but in perfect health.
I'm hunting a serial killer, and I've got reason to believe your mother will be his next victim.
Why, even if it's true, our gods.
He's exceptionally cruel when he kills, tortures his victims, cuts out their hearts. So let's see how she is, just in case.
I find this all very hard to believe, but you appear to be quite serious. Please, follow me.
A fire fit for Bellatane, except it's the wrong time of year.
I mentioned Mother seems sad. Do you remember? In fact, she's in the midst of a crisis of faith. A rather serious one. We'd been to Novigrad. Mother had seen the pyres in Hierarch Square, uttered not a word on our way home. She had all the holy books, insignias, reliquaries gathered, taken outside and burnt. Then she locked herself in her room.
We need to hurry.
Washed your hair lately?
Hear that? Calm and quiet. All seems to be in order.
We should go in, just to be sure.
You're relentless, aren't you? Fine. But wait here, please. Mother's certainly not in the mood for guests.
He ran out the other door! Catch him!
Ah! Stupid dogs.
Spread out! Murderer's still here! There he is! Get him!
Dang it, where'd he go?
I'll break your bones!
Don't have time for this. Oh, now I'm stuck.
Die, mutant!
Dang it, he's gone.
Halt! Or I'll put a bolt between your eyes!
Listen, you got the wrong guy.
Save your trickery, taking you to the heiress.
Well, killer's already escaped. Lead the way, hero.
We got him, Lady Ingrid. Wasn't easy, but...
Lower that crossbow before you hurt yourself. This man is innocent.
Forgive me. I saw him running. Thought it was the killer fleeing.
I was chasing him, and I'd have caught him if you hadn't gotten in my way.
Out of my sight, at once! Mother! Why did he do this to her? Why?
Because she blasphemed the eternal fire. Only thing that ties her to the other victims. Ingrid, I know this is a hard time for you, but usually the killer leaves a note on the body. A note indicating his next victim. May I?
Very well. But you should be on your own. I do not wish to see her in this state. I do not wish to remember her like that. And let her be the last victim. Please.
Bruises, broken fingernails. She defended herself. Must be why it took him longer, and why he almost got caught. Here it is. Sweet Nettie, crippled Kate's. Growing bolder, not just the name but the place too. Won't get away this time.
Remember, good people, that the fire devours everything in its path, sparing no one and stopping for nothing. The fire burns all sinners alike, be they paupers or princes, men or non-humans, weak or powerful. Whoever breaks its commandments, whoever does not heed the church's counsel, whoever worships false gods, the same shall be turned to ash in its flames. Live then in the truth of the eternal fire. Listen to its holy men, for they are your shepherd.
Same wounds as the previous victims. Examination would be a waste of time. Gotta get to crippled Kate's, fast.
Sorry, Ingrid. Out of the way, people. Kate's. Alright, I'll stop by Seven Cats. Pick up that notice board. We shan't sell any hard drinks to youth and children younger than 18 years of age, unless they're with their parents. While in this establishment, I misplaced a piece of personal correspondence. It was written on cream-colored parchment and bore my wife's seal. Inside were subliminally formulated expressions of true love, making it a most cherished souvenir. I searched every inch of the Seven Cats and finally found the letter in question in the latrine, crumpled and covered in unspeakable substances. To the churl who did this, I swear I shall cast foul curses on him and his kin for all eternity. Special end of the week offer, only at the Seven Cats. Meatloaf, hunter's pot, and spiced pork half off. Addendum. Some weak-stomached complainers reported getting poisoned at our place to the temple guard, so the special's been cancelled. I hope you're happy, you plowing snitch. Go to the passive floor and enjoy your nightingale tongue pate. Whoever makes a ruckus in the Seven Cats, harasses other guests, or fondles waitresses will be tossed out on his arse. Marrying your daughter off? Your son finally found himself a bride? You yourself getting hitched a second time? Remember, the band makes the wedding, and there's none better in town than Johnny Music Man and his merry mates. Our repertoire includes such even evergreen hits as Dunny Boy, Here Comes the Bride, and of course everyone's favorite, Auld Lang Bellyton. Don't delay, reserve your date today. Appeal to Sir Geralt, the bridge his crest. Geralt of Rivia. At the behest of our merciful sovereign, Her illustrious Grace Anna Henrietta, we have journeyed to the northern realms to lay before you our mission. A terrible monster has appeared in the Duchy of Toussaint, a beast that has committed heinous crimes against her Grace's subjects. Only the most famous among witchers has the ability to destroy the beast. Thus we humbly beseech you to appear in the village of Holloway, where we shall await you in full hope that you will deign to hear our woes and liberate our land from the clutches of fear. Your humble servants, Sirs Palmerin de Lawnfall and Miton de Perirac Perian, knights in the service of her Grace and the Duchy. Yeah, we'll do that later. You gotta kill her to stop.
No lollygagging. Oh!
Excuse me.
Touch me wife or I'll smack you sideways.
Coming through.
What's the wild hunts take you all?
Eternal fire protects us. Gives monsters the shits.
What say you we are over to
Here we are.
Sweet Nettie, where is she?
Upstairs. But she's with a very important client. Do not disturb them.
Hey, darling. Like what you see?
No one will hear you, bitch. Not a soul.
You, though? Whole town will hear you in a minute.
Yet again you disturb me, and I so dislike being disturbed. I was to play with sweet Nettie, render her not so sweet, but I shall see to you first.
What, no foreplay? No formaldehyde? Coals in my eye sockets?
What the fuck are you on about?
Murder. You killed Fabian Meyer, Patricia Vegelbud, and many others.
Bollocks. You're mistaken, vagrant.
Found a message on Patricia's body. Led me here to crippled Kate's. To sweet Nettie. If you didn't leave it, who did?
I don't know, but I see we must talk. Calmly.
Who knew you'd be here?
Strangely enough, I don't announce these outings far and wide. There's but one man who... That's impossible. He treats even corpses with kid gloves.
The coroner. Said you were busy, that you wouldn't visit the morgue. Gotta go after him.
Go. But to Warehouse 12 at the docks. He's there this time of day procuring supplies. Formaldehyde. I shall stay here. I've unfinished business with sweet Nettie. After all, I paid in advance.
Then you'll pay again. For her, for all the other women you've tortured. You're free now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. If not for you. He asked if I did everything, and I said, for the right price, of course. And then he smiled. Oh, God, it gave me the shivers. And then he hit me. So hard I passed out. I was bound when I came to. And he was hitting the poker in the fire.
Calm down. He won't hurt you anymore. He won't hurt anyone.
Okay, where's the way out? Here we are.
It's a material world, and I'm a material girl.
Whatever, I don't care. Gotta get to the corner. Move it, people!
run out of formaldehyde.
I underestimated you. You almost caught me in flagrante delicto. Now you've seen through my bluff with Nathaniel. Although, you've not divined all, I see. Had you, you would have drawn your silver sword.
What are you?
A vampire. Higher, of course.
Got a reason for killing? A reason to torture?
I thought you'd figure that out as well. The symbolism's rather obvious. Coals for those who are blind to the fire. The egg of a salamander born of fire to replace their cold, doubting hearts. Fire down the throat that...
Yeah, symbolism's clear. What's not is why a vampire would kill in the name of the eternal fire.
Should be equally obvious. I concur with the Church's diagnosis. Novigrad is a fallen city. Its population amnesiacs to the very concepts of decency and morality. So I decided to remind them, in a manner they'd be certain to notice.
Tortured logic.
Yet logic, nonetheless. I'm glad you perceived that, at least. Fight fire with fire, as they say. Give a thought to my victims. A lecherous woodcarver who'd spend his last copper on whores. An old countess who defiled symbols of the faith. A Trebirates for whom nothing was sacred, nothing above ridicule. They did not deserve to live. But their deaths could be a lesson to others. Awaken them, scare them onto the correct path, the path to the fire, to cleansing, to salvation. For you, I'm afraid it's too late. You are a man of little faith. I sense this.
But I'm pretty good with a sword.
Pretty good. Might not cut it.
Hold on. Got him. Well, that's over with. I had a feeling there was something up with him when we noticed that, again, he was Joachim's mentor, and yet he looked even younger than him. Joachim even mentioned, I think, he said like 30 years and you haven't changed a bit. So I figured there was probably something up with it. Turns out he was a vampire. That's why he didn't age.
It's a washout.
Why is it always raining?
Drenched again.
Well, let's just get back to Dandelion.
As long as the damp don't make me sick.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Thanks for your help, Geralt. You've not a nap, master.
Bless you. I'm gonna get mastercrafted griffin diagrams.
Damn it, I'll be late.
Well, over with the library.
Vile
The eternal fire will guide us.
Here we are. Water. Oh, that's the way out. I thought those were stairs. Stairs are right here. It's kind of hard to see because it's dark. The sun's going down.
Yes, Geralt?
Why is the university in Oxenford closed?
Because it suits Radovid. You've not heard the story? The rector wished to grant him an honorary doctorate. The faculty disagreed. Nonetheless, Radovid arrived for the ceremony, donned a gown, collected his diploma, and when it was over, imprisoned the deans and the entire academic senate so they wouldn't raise a stink. I've been at Vilmerius Hospital ever since. But perhaps it's for the best. I'm far more adept scalpel in hand than I ever was behind a lectern.
Hubert told me about your past, even more vivid than I'd assumed.
I've not time for riddles, Geralt. Be straight or be gone.
Any truth to his claim that people died during the riots at the university? Died for your cause?
I was young and stupid. I thought a better future was worth any price. Even a human life or two. But those are past sins. Sins I've atoned for.
These murders. Got any suspects?
No, Geralt. Though all in all I should have.
What do you mean?
By virtue of my profession, I know Novigrad's underworld better than most. Dozens of mercenaries, racketeers, bandits, and hired assassins have had their turn on my operating table. Rogues, one and all. But I believe even they could not kill in this manner. So horribly cruel, yet cold, methodical, with absolute precision. Concluding this overlong explanation, I've no notion who's behind it, but I fear them like hell.
Know another surgeon from Oxenford Academy. Her name's Shani. Know her? Red hair, cropped short, freckles.
And a hopeless idealist. Naturally, I know her. She was my assistant for a year.
Any idea where she is now?
My gut tells me she's somewhere along the front, patching up pikemen. I told her it would be futile. In the time she saved 100 lives, another 1,000 would be lost. But medics with a mission. You can't argue with them.
Found and killed the murderer. It was Hubert. You were right not to trust him. He was a higher vampire.
I thought nothing could surprise me in Novigrad. Seems I was wrong. Deeply wrong. Thank you, Geralt. Were it not for you, this would never have ceased.
Farewell. How's...
Better, right?
Yes.
Did you take care of what I asked?
Yeah. The Witcher's way.
Thank you, Geralt. For me and Priscilla.
Did my part. Your turn now. Take care of her. Good care.
I will. You'll see. Treat her better than the Dryads of Broccolon could.
She's talking again. Nice surprise.
Isn't it? Professor von Gratz told me her wounds are healing faster than a troll's. Not the most flattering comparison, but encouraging. Maybe she might even sing again someday. For now, we'll try performing as a duo. She'll play the lute, I'll sing. Dandelion and Calinetta. Got a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Sounds great. Good luck, Dandelion. On stage and off.
Sorry, Geralt. My throat's still quiet.
Say no more. Get well soon.
Geralt?
Well, now what do we do? Go to Skellige, of course. Well, good to see that Priscilla will be recovering pretty well. Gonna meditate so that time goes by, and hopefully it's no longer raining. Yay! Where am I going exactly for this? Oh, we're going out of town. Hey, Roach. Well, that's the case. I'm going to stop by the Rosemary in time. Actually, I think I'll stop and get a shave and a haircut.
Non-human, are you? Look for your kind beyond the woods.
Locked. Here we go.
Looking for a barber? Well, you found one. Welcome. I'll plough and shave the gentleman's noggin for half price.
Give me a haircut. As long as your hands aren't too shaky.
this looks like.
This is not what I wanted.
What do you mean, not what you wanted? Are you cut and coiffed? You are. And even can be, I'd say.
This is not the look I wanted.
And this is not the fate I wanted. I was to be an alderman in Mahakan. Instead, I shave and cut tramps and ragamuffins. Life deals what it deals. You shrug and you take it.
Fine then. See if I ever come back here.
Eternal fire walk
This one's still breathing.
Aye, it is, Lenny. Sam sniffed with me as I toss him in the fire. Orders say not living souls to leave out. I met you, right there.
Oh, that's a dead end. Yep.
La 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 la.
Well, pauper with a library. Imagine that.
Vile time.
Help! Save me!
What you got there?
Come to sell at the market.
Any magic ones?
Yeah, good.
Bull leech, goat heads, penny buns.
Geralt cannot turn well when he's running. Here we are. The chameleon.
It's the material world.
Damn nice. Shouldn't let that refuse into taverns with ordinary folk.
Leave it. You're not on duty.
Long live Geralt of Rivia, our savior!
To your son, Jost. May he take after his father.
So he'll be a milkman.
Hey, Dandelion.
Got a minute?
For you, my friend, always.
Got a portrait of Hierarch Himmelford I'm willing to part with. Want it?
Yes, those halfling painters. This one of theirs? Wonderful. I put this up at the Rosemary in time. It'll make those temple guard inspections so much easier.
Gotta tell me, how'd you wind up owning this establishment?
You'll never believe this. I inherited it from none other than Alonzo Wiley, Whoreson Sr. himself.
You're right, I don't believe it.
Alonzo ruled the local underworld with an iron fist, but deep down, he was a romantic, pure as they come. This place is one of the reasons his son's not my biggest fan. See, Cyprian Jr., that is, wanted to make this a brothel, but the Rosemary went to me, and I planned to turn it into the most elegant venue in town. A den of art and culture.
How'd you and Priscilla meet?
It was at the court of Duke Harold, the annual balladry contest. We faced off in the front.
Who won?
I don't remember.
I bet. Probably lost and you don't want to admit it.
Actually, she'd caught my eye, so I let her win. I was counting on getting a prize after the contest.
And did you?
That, my friend, is not your concern.
Ran into Molly. She says hello.
Molly? Which Molly?
One you promised to show your butterfly collection to.
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
Butterfly collection? You of all people could stand to be a little more inventive.
Molly didn't need inventive. She needed attentive. Average, run-of-the-mill girl. Give her a smile. Notice her shoes. Let her chat about them a bit. And she'd turn into a wellspring of passion.
See you, Dandelion. Zoltan.
Geralt!
Nice talking to you, Zoltan. See you later.
Okay, I think it's about time we end for now. We help Priscilla. Got Dandelion back. Whoop. Stopped a serial killer. Hey, doo-doo. Go off to. Oh, you just come out here to rest. Where is Priscilla, anyway? Is she still at the hospital? Hey, put the portrait up. Yeah, she's probably upstairs resting. This is quite an establishment you got, Dandelion. Well, next time we'll probably do a contract, maybe a few more side quests, and depending on how long that takes, we might finally get to Skellige. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until then, I'm Luke Dog, and I'll see you next time.